this very special edition of DD Dialogue Election Conclave that we bring to you again from picturesque Kohima in Nagaland. Well, we had to do this DD Conclave indoors because it's an absolutely windy weather here in Kohima and we cannot really trust the direction of the wind. But why we have all gathered here is to assess the direction of a political wave, if any, because the state of Nagaland goes to polls on 27th of February with 60 seats in the fray, and they say there is no fight because there is no opposition. The state of Nagaland has a distinction of being a state oppositionless or oppositionless state, but nevertheless there are more than 10 political parties in the fray, out of which a couple of them are regional outfits which may pose a formidable force to the ruling NDPP, BJP combined, and most of them are here with us on the show. Congress, the delegate from the Congress, the representative from the Congress, they confirmed their participation, but then at the last moment, they decided otherwise for the reasons better known to them. NPF has been gracious enough to send their representative on DD Dialogue. We're very glad. And of course, we have representative from the BJP and very senior and renowned journalist on the show. I'm going to quickly, before we go into the discussion, to assess the issues that are going to be decisive, and will the incumbent Chief Minister be lucky fifth time around or not? That is a big question. And to talk about that, let me start by introducing my panelists on DD Dialogue from Nagaland. Let me welcome Kakuto Chishi, spokesperson BJP, sitting on my right. Thank you very much, Kakuto Chishi, for joining us on the show on DD Dialogue. I also take this opportunity to welcome Simarth Sula. She's the General Secretary, Central Women Wing from the Naga Political Front. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. Kakuto is a BJP spokesperson. She represents NPF here. And I also welcome spokesperson from the LJP, who have also agreed to participating in the show. Mr. Yitashu, thank you so much for being here with us. And a very warm welcome to Dr. Vilo Nalio, who needs no introduction here in Nagaland. He's the convener, NBCC, Clean Election Movement. And on my extreme, thank you, and on my, and sitting closer to me is a senior journalist here in Nagaland, somebody who is very renowned for his body of work, that he understands the state politics very well. Okanjeet Sandham, senior journalist from Nagaland, for joining us. Thank you, all of you. And I would like to start this, in fact, open the show with the BJP, and you seem to be smiling. Earlier in the first session, the spokesperson from the NDPP exuded a lot of confidence that, again, you're going to emerge victorious, you will be re-elected, the BJP, NDPP combined. But I asked him whether all is well between the two of you. He said yes. But then I asked him about few questions or the promises made or not made in 2018, as far as the BJP manifesto is concerned. He said that is for them to answer. So what we now want to ask you is that what makes you so confident, if at all you are, to be re-elected? And are you on a perfect footing, comfortable footing with your ruling combined partner? Why this question is important? Because there are a lot of murmurs that are happening that why don't we have a chief minister from the ruling, the regional ruling combined this time?
No, thank you so much. I'm so privileged to be in the presence of this August House. 2018, the election for solution has been a question in the minds of the Nagas. But the government of India, as far as BJP, Narendra Modiji's government is concerned, they are all out there. They have acknowledged the unique history of Nagas. We have come this far. But the problem is with we Nagas, when we cannot unite, the problem, the onus should not be placed on the BJP government.
Are you saying they're not united?
Nagas, in fact, have been so deeply divided.
And BJP has
And
acted like a
BJP
glue?
is trying our level best to unite
Really?
the
So they
Nagas
need
to
a
bring about
party?
the solution.
Okay.
So once Nagas...
So you are using the divisions within the Naga groups as you're pointing out to your
Correctly,
advantage?
correctly.
So you're using that division to
Yes,
your
the
advantage?
moment we come together...
No, so you're using the divisions within the Naga group for your advantage?
Never that way.
Okay.
We are trying our level best to unite Nagas.
So BJP, they're saying they're like a glue here.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes,
Okay.
you can yes,
Of
put
course.
it that way. Second thing is why we are so much confident is because of our deliverance. We have delivered everything.
Okay.
In fact, I was so amused to read
What all
this
have you
morning's-
delivered?
Let's talk about roads. BJP government, see, 15 national highways under construction. Nagaland State, 2019.
They will be constructed
has
for
been
the next 15
electrified.
years. The pace
The
that
whole
we
of
see.
Nagaland State has been electrified.
What is the timeline that you are setting up for the ambitious IITs and IIMs that your manifesto boasts about? What is the target or the timeline that
Thank you.
You want to know, right?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Do you want to know? Yes.
Only if you vote us to power.
You're setting a precondition here.
If you don't vote us to power, how can we bring all those dream institutions
Oh,
to
yeah,
Nagaland?
dream institutions. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right. So,
Only if we are in power, we can try our level best to help, to ameliorate our
okay,
problems.
before I now go ahead, one last question. Mr. Chishi, in the last 5 years, since 2018, what all have your government, what all have you done? We are talking about roads and colleges. What all has been done? I still
think,
see dug up roads.
Yes, I think as a breathing and thinking people, all of us, the way our government did during pandemic has been very exceptional. Our government was people's government. We were all the while there. In fact, if we see all the 12 legislators of BJP, they are the best among the best politicians. They were so much available. They were always there for all of us. People think that politicians are dishonest. But I'm an honest person and see on record, let me tell you.
Everything is on
you
record
please
here.
vote us to power. You have seen the changes, the quantum of development, the quality of development
Let them
that
say
has
if they
taken
change.
place in Nagaland has been very unprecedented.
Okay, quote unquote, Mr. Chishi from the BJP saying that the quantum of development will be a decisive factor this time around. The quantum of development that the BJP and NDPP that they have done, they claim. Okay, now let me take this quantum of development to NPF. And once again, to reiterate, we send out repeated requests to Congress. The reasons known better to them, they decided not to send their representatives here. NPF, once you were a very strong force to contend with in Nagaland. Whatever happened in 2018, good showing, I mean, and after that in 2021. This time, can you say that this time the Naga People's Front is a challenge, is in the competition, is in the game?
We are not on education sector, agriculture, and infrastructures, but we are not promising, like we are not giving tall promises like the BJP does with IIMs and IITs. In education sector, it's already in the manifesto. What we will be concentrating on is like from primary schooling till secondary schooling.
Okay.
Where the basic education of the students are lagging behind in many schools, especially in
So you're
government
focusing
schools.
on primary education.
Yes. And women development for single mothers, widows, and women in general.
Do you think NPF can be an opposition here this time? Do you think you're giving them a fight?
Yes, sure.
You're giving them a fight?
Yeah.
How?
We will be winning many seats.
How many? How many seats? How confident are you?
Say 15?
50 out of 60. And how many candidates you fielded on all?
22.
22. You've fielded 22 candidates. Okay. So NPF on the national broadcaster sounding extremely confident. LJP, what do you have to say? Are you in the contention here?
Today it is BJP. In the past it is different party.
Okay.
And the people, the center party that is here in Nagaland, they always bang on giving salary to the people without taking things forward for the state to generate revenues.
Okay.
So this is a big mistake the central government has been repeating since it's dealing with the state of Nagaland.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point they thought giving jobs to every youth will resolve things, but it cannot resolve. Because today we find the state government not being able to pay the salary. That itself is a failure towards the approach of the central government to the state.
Okay. You are pointing at center.
Because
What about the
it has got
power
a direct
combined
relationship with the party here and the center. So
Okay.
unless the center change that,
Okay,
concept.
interesting. So you mean to say development or no development in Nagaland is decided in Delhi?
no, that is where I'm coming,
Huh.
because the
Then why
center
do we have
party,
assembly elections?
the center party, they are thinking that without, from the center party, then fund cannot come and salary cannot be paid.
Misuse of funds. Are you saying misuse of funds?
No, no.
Oh.
I'm talking about the center-state relation of the state economy.
Okay, okay, got it.
Now, from there, let me come back to the issue of Naga, whether Nagas are united or divided. Nagas are not divided. Nagas are united. But it is the central government, the central policy, that divides the Nagas. Because from one group, they will always take out another group and then recognize and hand it over to the Naga people that this has entered a ceasefire with the government of
LJP,
India.
you are saying is an option,
And-
viable option.
Then this,
So LJP, you are saying is a viable option here to give them stability.
you see, every party,
No, are you going to give them stability?
definitely,
How?
though it is our first entry, and we will be able to project a lot of things.
How?
Because in this coming 2023 election, no party is going to get absolute majority.
Okay,
and
you've
I
already
don't think
decided
even
that.
the NTPP BJP is in a position to cross the magic figure.
Okay,
So
interesting.
that gives rooms to every political parties to play their role,
Okay.
to bring in their
Play their
vision,
role. To
to
play
bring
their
in their
role.
vision and their program.
Okay,
So here, as far as the LJP is concerned,
okay.
for us, our focus is that we want to bring in investors
Okay.
wherever mineral exploration and development can take place. We want to open up
Let me ask this now.
the borders.
If open up the borders,
Open up the borders, unlock the borders,
okay,
develop economic activities, trade,
but unlock
and
the border,
business.
don't you think it's going to pose a serious security issue?
No, you see, you need to engage the youths with
For
careful
that, you need to
engagement.
open up the borders with the neighborhood.
Why not?
You
As
will
long
open
as
up the
you-
borders with the neighborhood to engage the youth.
Yes.
But you will not give them jobs here.
That itself will open up business and
Okay,
trade.
one last
with
question. So got
neighboring.
your point. One last question before I go to the others as well. Tomorrow, if they need you, because on the show we have BJP. If BJP or NDPP, they need you.
Yes.
But ideologically you're different, you're opposing them.
No, that is the ideological is the approach towards taking the state forward, as far as the center policy to the state. Because the idea is
You're opposing BJP in the elections?
whether it is BJP or any
Are you
party,
opposing BJP in the
I'm saying
elections?
that the center policy towards the state needs to
I
be
am
changed.
here to do an assembly elections program, sir. Are you opposing BJP or not? Yes or no?
Whether it's BJP or
Are
anything,
you
the
opposing
state,
BJP
the
or
central
not?
policy
Yes
to the
or no?
state has to be
I
changed.
repeat, are you opposing BJP in the state? Yes or no? Are you giving them a fight? Yes or no?
We don't have a candidate against us.
Okay. So there's no fight with them.
When you don't have candidate against you, there is no fighting with you.
Then why would they then vote you? What is the promise to them?
No, you see, we need to take the state forward of what it is.
I got
now.
your point. Do you want to? Let's take this forward. Now, what would you like to say? I think I have tried to ask the same question in many different ways, but it is extremely unfortunate that there is only talk shop here and nothing moves on the ground.
No, this LJP actually that they have been telling, I think in many campaigns, the candidates of LJP have been telling that we are part of India, the center. That is what they have been telling. But Mr. Rio, I mean the NDPP chief minister, who is, and then other BJP, Himanta Biswa or others, who were coming in the state, they said they will not take any other party. They are forming the government, but whereas LJP has been telling some of their candidates, may not be all, that they are part of the India. That means they are still in the same family. So I do not know, that is for them to clarify. This is what, from their mouths, we are just hearing, and even although these BJP leaders from the center and Mr. Rio, they have been telling that they will be forming and they will be getting absolute majority in this election and they will not take any other party.
If you have such unpredictable loyalties, if you have such fickle-minded loyalties towards your own party, then how can you promise your loyalties to the people of Nagaland? This is a very sad state of politics here. When the allies or the opposition on the same platform are not able to take responsibility or own up the responsibility for the good doings and the wrongdoings also. Therefore, sir, from you I want to ask, you're from the NBCC Clean Election Movement. Obviously, the fact that you have a clean election movement body, which means there is a lot of rampant corruption. Allegedly, the votes are also on sale here. Allegedly, reportedly.
Yes.
So, why do we have the elections here? Whom are they fooling?
It's both ways. If we go to the grassroots will tell us, go and tell the candidates not to buy votes. If we go to the candidates, Sarah Yitachu also told me just before meeting here, clean election is not happening. Rather, it's making worse. But then if we go to them again, they will tell us that it's the voters, the electorates who are asking for money. And so it's the blame game going on. But I think it's also matters with integrity. When someone is entering into politics with the motive to divide or with the motive to recoup the money that they have spent, I think they will speak many things, but then we see the ground reality, which is
Are the regional parties in Nagaland a divided house?
the regional parties.
Regional parties, yes.
I don't think they are divided, but then they are...
BJP claims to be the glue here. What do you
Yes.
have to tell them?
That is why they have their B teams.
This is the glue of convenience?
Could be.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, that is why what I have to say is that integrity matters, even in politics. And the way we define politics itself is a matter here in this fray. When we talk about our politicians, and these are our politicians, and that's why we really need to bring out what is in the core of their heart in intending in these elections this time. And I think we are getting very less answers from them.
So what is your body trying to do about it?
For us, we are taking the neutral position and saying that...
Why neutral position?
Because we cannot play partisan politics. It's a church-based movement.
Okay.
And so...
No, when I say why neutral position, I mean, why can't you go hammer and tongs on each one of them and question their accountability and responsibility?
Oh, yes, we are doing
You
that.
cannot be just a watch body or a watchdog.
Yes,
and
exactly.
right under your nose, all this is happening, what you're claiming.
Yes, we have different associations. We have 25 associations, and under that, we have more than 72 lakhs, 17
25
lakhs.
associations in Nagaland only.
Yes, under the churches, and each different associations have their own assignments to take the message of the clean election to the grassroots.
Okay.
That's what we are doing. And grassroots means everyone is part of the church. because we talk about more than 90% Christians, and all the politicians, all the political parties, members, agents are part of the church. And that is why the church is the best platform to address this. And it's part of our mission that we will cleanse the system which is going wrong right now. A lot of promises, but then nothing is happening actually.
How do you propose to cleanse the system?
Well, that is why the first step is that we need to educate people first. And that is why we are going around with the college students. Recently, we have visited eight colleges. Around 10,000 students we have interacted. And we talk about right voting, right electing our responsible leaders and legislative assembly leaders who are all out for our people, who are there for development, who are there representing us.
Okay, got your point. Now, Mr. Okunjit, how relevant are the bodies like NBCC in terms of enforcing or infusing clean election practices, quote unquote?
Honestly speaking, we have seen some difference. I think comparing with the past elections and the present election, I think many people must have seen that there is candidates, posters, banners. These are something like, sometimes I have been telling this morning also that we have not seen these things comparing with the past. Very less. Even in the state capital, you will not find a single candidate's poster pasting on the wall. So that is also a good sign. But then election is just like a festival of democracy.
Yes.
When we see the flags, banners, candidates, posters pasting around, it's very beautiful to see. The other side of the story is like clean election. Now, in many villages, that the candidates are now offering 15,000 per vote, 20,000 per vote. It's going on now. So it's in the next two days, then the campaigning and everything will be over. Now all these money things is going to be there, I know. Then another thing is, we talk about Naga political settlement. We talk about the road issue. We talk about education. We talk about medical college. So many things we have been talking.
Correct.
But
and we have only been talking.
Yes. So when the election comes, then when the election is approaching, then people started forgetting all these things, including our educated youth, students, all these who have been talking all along on these issues. Then they are talking who would be forming, which party will be forming the next.
I also want to understand, very true, very right,
Yes.
rightly pointed out. I also want to understand from you this Naga political issue or a statehood issue or an issue of autonomy. Does it ring bell with the youth of Nagaland?
I don't think so. Because this, I don't know, because why I said so is that when the election comes, this we were talking, that actually people are not taking very seriously about the political issue. But that, see, we have, as we have been, just before I have been talking about, the Nagaland has this distinction about not having an opposition.
Yes.
Is an oppositionless government. It is the only state in the country that is not having opposition. This is one of
And it is not something very great.
not great. This is
a
one of the
dubious
most
decision.
one of the most disadvantages in the minds of the youth, because you will not know what is democracy, because there is no opposition. Opposition is the voice, and they are the one who is going to question the government. And when there is no opposition, that means you are not knowing what exactly the government is doing in the state. So you can't check the corruption, you can't check the government activities. So this is a dangerous trend precedence we are having, and this should not be there in the next government actually.
So
there should be an opposition.
There should be opposition, yes.
I think the NPF is also responsible for being part of this movement, because it is because of the merging or coming together under the UDA government.
Yes, yes.
We have an opposition-less government. And so do you think that you have made a right choice?
Yes.
That we have no Naga solution now, right?
Okay.
And it was on that basis they have started talking about merging together opposition-less government.
So, ma'am, what happened in 2021? Your major chunk of your MLAs joined the
21 of them.
yes,
Left the
21 and
party.
left for 2 or 3 and it
4 of them.
4 of them. You got isolated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Why did it happen? And don't you think that is something which shouldn't have happened? I mean, you have the civil society here wanting NPF and parties like NPF to stand up to the occasion and act like an opposition.
Most probably to overthrow the leadership of the party. So they went looking for greener pastures, I should say. The 21 MLAs.
Also, your NPF media spokesperson has been saying that this time NPF is going to come out with a super performance. So, can you please tell us a little more about your super performance plan? Because, like I'm again reiterating, the whole glued up government of the NDPP and the BJP, the people here, in fact, want opposition also. Can you at least become an opposition?
Because what the Naga people, the politicians, focuses on is being in the ruling side, ruling party. So it's like that they don't know the meaning of having a very strong opposition. So having the ruling power, you can question, you can topple down the government, but they don't. The politicians, they don't want to be
Is
in the opposition
NPF
side.
united this time around in 2023?
Yes,
Are you united?
yes,
Are you going to fight it out with them?
yes.
And talking about the issues now, you cited primary education as one of your poll planks. But what about the contentious issue of what we've been talking about, autonomy and separate statehood and Eastern Naga Front, all of that? It is it part of your manifesto?
Yes.
Okay, and what are the solutions that you want to offer to the people of Nagaland?
On Eastern Nagaland, the party is focusing on bringing development, like in whatever ways they deserve, and whatever funds the center has been directing for the Eastern Nagas, the separate packages, has not been utilized or has not reached the grassroots levels. So it will be implemented very strictly.
You're the General Secretary of the Central Women Wing. Does it not hurt you to see that there are no women candidates in the party?
Of course it does.
Why were tickets not given?
Maybe next elections.
Okay, there are clearly no answers from the NPF. But LJP, you seem to be smiling a lot. Are you fielding any women candidates, sir?
No, we don't have.
You don't have only.
We don't have.
Fantastic.
When
But you
they
will
don't
give them
have- When they
stability.
don't apply, how can we give?
Okay.
It's only when they come forward we can give.
Okay. So simple.
Here I just wanted to say on this clean election, because I am a candidate, a standing candidate now, right now. So on clean election, happy to see that they're trying to educate so many college young people, youth. That's a good thing. I don't say it's a total failure, but what I wanted to only appeal to the committees, particularly the church level authorities. I think if you can walk what you are preaching, that would bring about tenfold result of what you are giving right now.
Yeah, we have been doing that. We have circulated, we have given directives from the NPCC level to each and every individual church to cleanse their own house, to take the log out of your eye first. That's what our mission and our priority is this time. And so this time you'll see a difference in the churches. Don't compare with the last time. And that's what we are doing, because we are serious in this matter and we want to take the log out of our eye first. And that's biblical.
That will be a very good thing.
How much of the influence does church have on the elections?
The sociologist says the church is the only hope and beacon of reviving our society. From a sociologist's point of view, that's a big word. And the church has its influence in terms of morality, in terms of ethics. And so I think The church has
But
got...
on ethical grounds, why have you not been able to then pull up the candidates on ethical grounds only? For all that, I mean, I don't want to go into the
Yes,
details.
I
You know
understand.
exactly what I'm trying to say,
Yes,
sir.
but then see, the church is not an agency of booking criminals. It's a hospital for forgiveness, I would say. But then, see, I mean, like when the church goes militant, it goes wrong.
So how do you enforce then clean elections?
That is why one of our strategy is collaborating with civil societies so that they will do the action.
Okanjeet, sir, this to me sounds extremely theoretical. Does it sound theoretical to you too? Is anything moving on ground?
But as I said, if we don't see this, I mean the posters and the banners, if that should be taken as a clean election, could be wrong, because that is in democracy, in the definition of democracy, we look all the elections, as I said, banners, posters of contesting, that should be there. But I think clean election is not, is they're working hard, but it is not really going, because the most important part is our younger generation.
Yes.
They are not really grasping this kind of thing which we are talking about the clean election. But another thing, while I was just talking this one, I want to tell one thing about NPF. When you have issued a ticket to the candidates, I was there. So Mr. Azo, he was telling that we in any case, we will be part of the government. He never mentioned about we will be opposition. Why he was so confident is we will always have opposition less. That's the first thing. So
that's the strategy in place.
Because they are already there. NPF is still UDA, part of the UDA. So he said we will be kingmaker. So it's the way well-established political parties have this tendency that any party will always be in the government because it will be oppositionless. This is the tragedy actually that our people are suffering because of this. Now another thing is, now election for solution. Our BJP friend, he has mentioned about it. When Mr. Ram Madhav has announced that election for solution, and at that very point of time, civil societies, this core committee and Nagaland Tribal Association, something, they have been spearheading that election solution, not election, or they have been fighting to defer the election. So something like that. I was there. So now he said that if you give vote or if party is voted to power, we will do everything. In fact, BJP was voted to power at that point of time because of that also. But our issue has not been resolved. So it's very difficult.
Does it also surprise you? It has surprised me that the Naga issue doesn't figure out prominently in the manifesto. Yes. But the central leadership, the big leadership that canvassed in Nagaland spoke openly about it.
Yeah, this is the problem we are having now. Because every manifesto they will figure about the settlement of Naga political issue. That is, I think all the political parties, their manifesto they mention one way or the other. Even the Home Minister, the other day he was from Mon to Tuinsang, he has been talking about the Naga political issue will be settled after the election. Then even the ENPO issue will be resolved after the election. What kind of discussion they had with the ENPO people, with the Home Minister, we do not know. So that kind of thing is there. Then when, supposing like this settlement, now we are talking about the divisions among the Naga political groups that Yitasu has already mentioned about the center is also responsible for dividing like that, something like that. But the question is, even our Naga political groups who are in talks are also not very clear. They are not very serious to resolve the political issue actually. What is there to be discussed? everything is discussed. It's over. It's only waiting to seal for the final settlement, actually. There is nothing left to be discussed anymore. But
So you
what
mean to
is
say
waiting for?
2015 it was done and dusted, but they don't want to take it further?
Yeah, something.
The regional parties here?
That is, I think, our government here in the state, they should actually call a special session only to discuss these talks which had already been concluded on the 31st October 2019. Then they can pursue.
Okay.
But
Mr. Joshi?
assembly has never been sworn
Mr.
Yeah.
Joshi?
to discuss on this issue.
I agree that.
Yeah. You want
See, Naga solution is a soft spot where all the political parties can come and touch and convince the Naga people. That's why Nagas are full. Otherwise, if they're really serious about solution, they will just not go for election. But they are not serious. That is why everyone is going for
Are you from
elections.
Nagaland?
Yeah, I'm from Nagaland.
Aren't you Naga?
I'm a Naga. But then you ask the young people, are they interested in Naga solution? We are more concerned about infrastructures, and we are more concerned about recreational centers where we can express ourselves.
Is politics a job here? Are politicians not taking their job seriously? At
Yes.
least on the show, we could make out how serious are certain parties about doing their job seriously.
In politics, when you look at politics, most of our educated youths, they will prefer to go for engineering, they will go for doctor,
And for that, they have to leave Nagaland.
they have to leave for Nagaland, and majority of them, they are leaving also. But my question is, why you have not chosen politics as a profession? Because youngsters have to enter into politics. Because the social workers, 80% of the social workers, basically they are filling up in the political vacuum. But those who are educated young people who are actually say like from the other professionals,
We have a young politician from the BJP here. You had your education from?
Delhi.
Delhi University.
they both they
Excellent.
had accents, etc.
Okay, so you also had to go to Delhi to study.
So
See?
in fact,
I don't have to even ask this question
yeah.
now.
So around 50,000 Naga youths, they have been studying in different parts of the country, in other cities. So we have been spending more than 200 crores every year on educations. That if we have those infrastructures and facilities of educational institutions of what you have been going, then that money will be here in the state also. That is not there. So many things, but we are repeating the same. But it is the only state which is not having a medical college. I think that speaks
Volumes
volumes.
of the indifference?
But this is not targeting the government or anything. It shows everything about it.
LJP?
Nagaland state is the 16th state. Today we have so many states, but still the 16 states do not have a medical institution.
Yeah, okay. I
Still
want to
do
just
not have
say
an
you have
engineering
raised, for a
institution.
change, a very intelligent point here, that, some sort of indifference that you sense from center, right? Do you agree? Do you sense some sort of indifference from the center, irrespective of the government at the center?
Irrespective of any
Let
party
me ask NPF. आपको लगता है there is some sort of indifference from the center towards Nagaland? Any government?
In some ways, yes, but in some ways, no. Because the medical college, which was supposed to be opened years back, the money has already been sanctioned. It's the people out here, the politicians out here who has not done their jobs. It's not the center. The center is not to be blamed for the Nagas not having a
Well, whatever
medical
homework
college.
I did, the money has been coming from Delhi, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true.
Okay, true. You agree.
Yes.
Thank you.
See,
Then where has the money gone?
We Nagas, no?
Where has the money gone?
We are still a silver spoon-fed state. Our leaders, including any one of us, should be more responsible. The management of fiscal affairs has got to be more prudent. And when Sir Itachu says things, I am so surprised that he has been in the ministry for almost a decade and so. Now it is a time we work with BJP or we work alone. We cannot, like a layman, we cannot work with his stick unless and until the government of India comes to our rescue.
So finally, we're just going to take final comments from each one of you. I'm going to start with the LJP. Why should people of Nagaland vote LJP? But before you answer, all this is on record. It's on national news television. The entire nation is watching you, and people of Nagaland are watching you. You will be held accountable after 5 years.
So LJP is a new party entering into the state of Nagaland, and we have about 15 contesting right now, and we expect to win anywhere between 9 to 13. And it will be a formidable force.
So 15.
Out of 15, we expect to win anywhere between 9 to 13.
Okay.
And that will be a formidable force where we can able to put forward our vision plan, which can take...
Okay. So out of this, you then are ready to join whoso comes to power.
Because 9 to 13 is not a magic
So,
figure.
but you're ready to
That's
join hands
not
with
a-
anybody who comes to power. This is what I want to know.
Definitely,
Post-poll
like-minded
alliance
has to
open.
come together and then take the
Who are your
government forward.
like-minded parties, sir?
Because that can take place right after the result is out.
Sir, who are your like-minded parties, sir? The state of Nagaland would want to know because you have to wait, right? You have to
Yes,
vote,
because
right?
unless the result is out, you cannot.
I repeat one last time, who are the like-minded parties for you? So that they decide to vote.
Like-minded people, because the democracy provides such an opportunity the way we come together even after
So
post-poll
LJP,
and then bring up a common minimum program.
LJP is saying that they don't want to reveal the names of the like-minded parties, quote unquote, and they are, which means open to the post-poll alliances. Fine.
Yes.
NPF, what is your winning target, and how are you also open to the post-poll alliance? Or you are already part of the winning combine and you're not telling us?
As I've said earlier, that's not for me to say.
You're okay. So no, but your competitor LJP is very confident about the numbers. You don't want to even guess the numbers you can win. Okay, that's the answer there from Naga People's Front. Yes, BJP. I'll give you the last word. Yes, sir. You first. Sir, NBCC.
Okay, for me, I want the electorate to vote for the right person, choose, use your heart, mind, everything to be responsible in this very, very important election that is coming. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
I think the party president, Dr. Sarojala, has already stated in one of the campaigns that NPF would win around 12 to 13 seats. He also said around 13, 9 to 13. Then NPP is there, they're also telling that around 7, 8. Then some independents will come. And looking at this kind of hope that the
You think
party
NPF
candidates...
has a chance?
They have a chance, yes. So, because NPF is one of the major coalition partner in Manipur
Absolutely.
government.
Absolutely.
So, there cannot be opposition here when BJP will be part of the government. So, in that case, the NDPP BJP definitely is going to be a minority. They will not have absolute majority. If you are all getting this large chunk of winning seats, so in any case, BJP
So they say in Delhi, Mili-Juli Sarkar.
yes.
But in that Mili-Juli Sarkar, you have to have a space for opposition.
That is, Congress is coming up, but although
as
they
an
don't have a representative as of now, but listening to the Congress and all along we have been seeing their statements, press conferences and others,
Yeah.
we feel that there is an opposition anyway. So yesterday I was there with Mr.
No, there's senior leaders, Mallikarjun Kharge,
Yes.
Shashi Tharoor,
Yes.
the rallies, I've seen those reports and all. There are personal attacks again on the central leadership, but not even a single word of the grassroots issues here.
Yeah, but when I was there with the Shashi Tharoor, I spent some time with him. I listened to him. He's a very articulate, and he's a very learned. And I was just joking him. I have never seen such a politician
But
who is
then
a
is
celebrity
articulation
character.
doesn't translate into
Correct,
leadership qualities,
All right.
or some lending some sort of stability to the Congress party. Anyway, that's a different debate.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
So,
Final word.
we feel that as a public, we feel that there should be an opposition and the Congress. They may surprise people that at least 1 or 2 seats Congress may come up this time, looking at the present trend, and that will be making the whole political thing which we have been living under opposition-less government.
There has
will
been
be
a void.
Totally a different point.
Yes, void of opposition. Kakuto Chishi, spokesperson BJP. Commit to the people of Nagaland. Why should they vote you back to power? Especially clarity on 2 important issues I want from you. AFSPA, I'm sure you know what it is, and the question of statehood and autonomy.
BJP government under the leadership of Sir Narendra Modi ji has shown us what India is all about. The true India, the most honored and dignified India.
Promises to the people of Nagaland. I repeat.
Sabke saath, sabke vikas. It was Congress times, it was Lucas, but in our time, under the honorable leadership of Narendra Modi Sahab, it's Act East. We can see changes coming about. Since past, in fact, 10 years or more, the kind of problems, but we call it in the legal parlance, law and order problems, has come down, has scaled down to almost 70%. Nagas are having, under the leadership of the BJP government in India, Nagas are having a peaceful time, and I can see students here. They don't have any fear psychosis.
You
Face-wise-
are you writing an essay on the accomplishments of what Delhi
Face-wise-
has done in Nagaland?
No,
I
no.
asked you, what are your
Face-wise-
promises to the people of electorate, sir?
Whether it is District Area Act or Armed Forces Power Special Act, face-wise, the government is watching on all of us. So face-wise, district by district, Armed Forces Power Special Act is going to be lifted. So we don't have to worry. We will have to encourage our own parents, our brothers and sisters, that if we live together, there is always a future.
The answers that have come up come from the ruling dispensation, and the experts here, I think the interventions, the kind of interventions that my honorable panelists from the LJP, BJP and NPF, by the way, all this only screams out one fact, that there is a space and perhaps a void for the opposition in Nagaland. One thing, in fact, sir, if I may be allowed to say, the other thing that stands out loud and tall is the way the political leaders, irrespective of their parties, whether it is a regional party or any party from Delhi which has joined hands with them, they have let down their own people. The kind of legitimacy or the seriousness with which they've answered or chose to make fun of the questions which matter to the people of Nagaland on the national television speaks volumes of the fact that whatever has happened in the last not 5 years, many, many years, answerability and accountability needs to be fixed. And that's precisely the reason we in Doordarshan believe in doing such election conclaves. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us on the show. Thank you. Thanks for staying with us. Namaskar.